This is our last video on Unit 4, Formative 1, writing functions from tables and word problems. So, what is the function describing the relationship between the number of hours, h, and miles, m, okay? We're going to kind of do the same thing we started this unit with, trying to find the slope or the rate of change, however you want to think of it. But we're going to then make an equation that's going to be in slope-intercept form. So we're going to put it in like the y equals mx plus b form. Alright, so just, think about it. H is my x, because remember time is x, and then m is your miles, that's your y. So, rate of change, again, that's where we find the difference here. Well, that's 70, if I'm counting. That's 70. That's 70, okay? And the change in time, you see that's 2, okay? So my slope is 70 divided by 2, which is 35 divided by 1. Okay, that's my rate of change. You could say 35 if you would like. So we're going to plug in our slope here. So that would be y equals 35x. I don't know my b yet, so we're going to just keep that as b for right now. So we're going to have to try to find that, and there's several ways of figuring out what your y-intercept is. But for this type of problem, we're going to stick with the slope-intercept form, okay? Now we could use point slope, and that's your choice, but I'm going to do it in this form. What we're going to do is we're going to pick a point here. We need to pick one of the points in our table. So let's just pick the first set of points. And we're just going to plug in our numbers that we know. Okay, so we have a y value of 70. We have our slope of 35. And an x value of 2. So we're going to solve that down for b. Alright, so 35 times 2 is 70. So therefore, my y-intercept is 0. So going back to my first equation here I had with the b, my function y equals 35x plus 0. So we could keep it as y equals 35x. If we really want to be technical and use the variables h and m, we would say m equals 35h. You can have that one or you can have this one. Doesn't matter to me. Same table, type table here. The table shows the number of fences painted. What is the equation for the number of fences painted at any time? Alright, so same concept here. Rate of change for the change in fences is 1. And the time, as we're looking at, is 3. Okay, so that means my slope is 1 over 3. Let me just undo that here. Alright. So, there's my equation. Same thing, I don't have my b. Oops, let me just undo that. I don't have my b there. So we're going to kind of do a little problem, separate little problem to find that, like we did on the last one. I'm picking a point. Okay, so y equals mx plus b. I'm going to plug in what I know. right? So my y value is fences. So we got 1 equals, my m is 1/3. My x is the time, of course, so 3. I'm going to solve for b. Well, that's 1 equals 1/3 of 3. Cross cancel there, that's just 1. Subtract 1. So my y-intercept is going to be b, alright? Going back to what I started with here, I'm going to plug in b. I'm going to plug in the 0 in here, alright? So we get y equals 1/3 x plus 0, which is simply y equals 1/3 x. And there's your equation. A cell phone company charges $150 for each month and $5.50 for each gigabyte over the data plan. Alright, so this is like real life stuff with cell phones and stuff. This totally happens a lot of the time, especially with my phone, you know. What is the function describing the relationship between the overage charges and the total monthly bill? Alright, so a few things you're going to need to pay attention here. What are my variables representing in this problem? So I'm just going to list that out. Y is my, if I'm looking, Y is going to be my total bill. Okay. So what's X? Alright, X is going to represent the number of gigabytes over. Okay. Alright, so again, this is X. Total monthly bill. This is Y. So if I plug in and do slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, I'm going to notice, hey, my cell phone bill has $150 of charges each month, okay? That's a constant thing, okay? That's where we start with. That's our starting amount we pay. Well, that goes in for the B, all right? So we're going to put 150 in for the B, all right? Next, we have $150 for each gigabyte over the data plan, all right? All right? That's talking about your change of the bill over time, okay? So that's your M, that's your slope. 550 is your slope in this, okay? So there's my equation here. Y equals 550x plus 150. That's a formula. We're going to use it to solve the next two problems. So it says find the cell phone charges if the customer went 5 gigabytes over the plan. Right, so there's my information. That's going to go in for my X, okay? So on my thing here, we're going to plug 5 in for X. Alright, so let's just kind of do a quick solving here. 550 times 5. That would be 2750 plus 150. So my bill for that month is going to be $177.50. Okay. Next, we have another problem here. How many gigabytes did the customer go over if the total bill was 232? So this number right here, okay, that's my Y, okay, that's my total bill. So in my formula, I'm going to plug it in right here. So we're just going to do that right here. 232.50 equals 550 x plus 150. All right? And we're just going to solve this down. Just do some math here. Subtract 150. We get 82.50. And then we're going to have to divide here. Divide by 550. Okay. 82.50 divided by 550. X equals 15 gigabytes. Okay. All right, we'll do a bunch of practice on this, but you guys have a good day.